We're heading over to Sam Batch to LIFECYCLE Coaching. This bloke is incredible. If you haven't met him before, it's quite an honour to introduce you. He's got us through the worst of times and the most miserable of times since the first lockdown. It's Rob Edwards, our mental health and mindset coach. Hello.
Good afternoon, Lou. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. I know this is off track here, but I'm just thinking about the Eurovision.
Yeah.
Would that be a kind of thing you deal with, of getting somebody ready to represent the United Kingdom? I mean, as a mindset coach, what would you say to him, Rob?
Oh, crikey, there's a question, Lou. Yeah, I do work on mindset and preparing people for events and things like that. I've never prepared anyone for Eurovision, though, because...
Is that because you're quite realistic?
It's not something I tend to follow closely, put it that way. So I wouldn't be best positioned to say this is what to expect, apart from probably a massive disappointment.
This is why I like you, because it's the reality, isn't it? I mean, Tom, I have to say, this is your favourite part of the week, isn't it, when Rob's on?
Yeah.
You need to brighten your week up, Tom, if I'm the favourite part of your week, mate.
Honestly, he settles in, Rob. He loves it, because I think we can actually breathe when you're with us. But I like that because you are realistic as well, aren't you?
It's the only way to be. It's the only way to be, isn't it?
Do you actually look back over this last 2 years, or do you just not think it's a good idea? Or do you look back and think of what has got us through it?
I spend an awful lot of time talking about the last 2 years. Yeah, with all my clients, I have individual clients, I have corporate clients and everything. And it's a big topic still. It really is. And, there's a lot of imprints that it's left. And so we have to be able to kind of talk them through, understand what those imprints are, and then strategize about how to best deal with it. Yeah, so it's still a big topic, definitely.
I know this. Sometimes you think, oh, that sounds quite obvious, but it's not in the slightest. I remember one of our first conversations, so probably going back about 18 months, you'd said to just, if you can stop just for a bit, because we don't realise how ravelled up in our own thoughts we get, and just wonder if there's something you can do to help somebody else. And I thought, you're taking it in thinking, hang on a minute, but what you get from that is amazing, isn't it? Because you stop dwelling on yourself as well more than anything.
It's exactly that. It does that. We spend an awful lot of time in our own heads, and our minds keep us busy, occupied with ourselves an awful lot and what we need to do to get through the days and stuff. But yeah, that simple process of just lifting the gaze up a little bit and looking at what's happening around and thinking about other people and what we can do for other people, it turns off some of that self-anxiety. It makes us feel better, and it makes other people feel better as well.
Well, we're doing these Make a Difference awards that we're taking. It's had so many nominations, and that's uplifting when you're seeing, the people that have been nominated. You're like, we live near really amazing people who are dead kind and have done just that, gone out of the way. And it's quite an awkward feeling. Did we ever send Rob that certificate we were meant to send him, Tom?
Yeah, you did.
I think we did. Yeah.
We did. Was it good quality Make a Difference certificate, or was it a bit of paper?
It was a bit of paper, but when it's in a frame, it looks all right. And I've framed it, right? It's on the wall in my little studio here. I can read it to you. It says, BBC Radio Stoke awards you this certificate of appreciation as a thank you for everything you do to help make a difference to the lives of others in Staffordshire and Cheshire. And it's signed by Louise Stones. I stuck it on eBay, but I only got about £2 off it.
I'm surprised you got £2. Not her, flipping it. Because obviously this is a huge week. It's last chance now to nominate people. And we're on about, even like your neighbours and stuff. You might never have spoke to them, might you, before we went into the first lockdown?
No, exactly. We don't do that these days, do we? We used to years ago. You used to know your neighbours quite well, didn't you? But we don't tend to spend time with our neighbours these days, do we? We tend to be a little bit self-focused, don't we? Go to work, come home, and maybe say hello when you put the bins out.
I put the bins out pitch black. I do. I run out, then I do a double wheelie bin run. just run out. Rob, I was on about my neighbour actually earlier. That's one of the categories, isn't it? The amazing neighbours. Yeah. But I was thinking of him, Rob, because it's when I kept losing my keys. He catapulted through my bedroom window, rolled onto the bed. It was like Starsky and Hutch. Just to let me into my own house. And I just think...
You've got the milk tray as well. He was doing it. It sounds like a chocolate advert from the 80s.
He hasn't got like a roll neck, has he? So yeah, I put Rob in for the neighbour category. You don't ask Tom anything, Rob, because he's too honest. Are your neighbours nice?
They are. They're lovely. Yeah.
Have they got you out of any predicaments?
I do. Can I give my mate's neighbour a shout out?
Yeah.
Is that okay? Because whenever I stay around his, he lives in Stafford, whenever we go out in Stafford, stay at his, I always forget my phone charger. And then
every time?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Your mate's neighbour's got a spare phone charger.
Yeah, but they always give it to me every time.
They're going to buy you one, aren't they? They'll buy you one of them cheapos, won't they? Just so you stop knocking on. I remember you saying this though, Rob, probably 18 months ago, coming out of the first lockdown, just if you can. And it wasn't like you were going, oh, we're all selfish. I was raveled. I had chronic anxiety. I was in such a state coming back into work. It was vile. And I remember you saying, it's just for a split second, just thinking of, can I action something to help somebody else?
That's it. And it doesn't take much, sometimes. I know a mate of mine reached out last week. I've not seen him for years. And all it was a little message. And he said, I saw you on LinkedIn. I just thought I'd drop you a little note to see how you're doing. And how nice is that? And it's lovely to hear from them. So sometimes just a little thought goes a long way. I reconnected back. We're going to go and see each other in a couple of weeks. And, I've not seen him for years as an old schoolmate. And so it's lovely when someone reaches out to us, which also means that it's obviously appreciated by others when we reach out to them. So we should do a little bit more of it, really.
Yeah, we need a plan of action then this week. It's because we do you do them, don't you? Yeah. When Rob gives us an idea.
It's so useful, yeah, honestly.
Well, they're all that simple, Tom. All right. I like to keep it real. Okay, you must have a piece of A4 paper. Have you got some A4 paper there? You don't need a pen this week, Lou. You don't need your highlighters.
Oh, I got my four-coloured clicker, look. I was ready to roll then.
You do need a pen. Yeah, you do need a pen.
I do need a pen.
He was having us on.
Yeah, my pencil case.
Ask your neighbour, Tom, if you haven't got a pen. Ask your next neighbour.
No, Rob, honestly, everyone laughs at me at work, so I still have a pencil case. Like at school.
Oh, have you got a protractor and a compass?
No, not quite.
No.
Empire Strikes Back, something like that.
It's just a plain black one. It's fairly boring.
Happy birthday. Right, piece of paper. Tear it up into 4 equal pieces. You got it? Rip it up into 4 equal pieces. Just rip it up?
Yeah. Oh, this feels good. Yeah. Get a bit aggressive doing this, Rob.
Yeah,
got
exactly.
it.
Could hear it.
They're not equal. Okay. Does that matter?
No, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. Doesn't. So those 4 bits of badly torn paper, right, are going to be your gratitude tokens for the next 4 days, all right? And all they're going to do is act as little visual reminders for us to do something for someone else. So on each of those bits of paper that you've got, doesn't matter which one you write this on, write down who, right?
Who?
Write down who, and then underneath that, write down how can I help? Right, dead easy.
On the same bit of paper.
Same bit of paper. Who and how can I?
How can I help? How can I help? That's my telephone voice. How can I help you?
And then for the next 4 days, starting tomorrow, so you've done your job for today, right? Dead easy. Starting tomorrow, you've got 1 gratitude token to use each day. Yeah. So all you've got to do is think about who it's for, a different person each day, and then think about a little bit of something that you can do for that person. So write a name down on it and think, how can I help you? What can I do? It might be something as simple as, like my mate last week, he just dropped me a note on LinkedIn, how are you doing? Or offer to get the shopping for someone, or share a coffee with someone, or do a movie night. I'm doing a movie night with Scott and Holly on Wednesday night this week.
You're so American.
We're going to watch Studio
a film? 6. You're in Britain.
Yeah, film night. We're going to do, I've called it a foodie night, because we're going to watch the Foo Fighters film.
Oh, we'll come round.
Can't wait, honestly. Cannot wait. Everyone's well, not everyone. It's a big audience.
I know we'll all be queuing up now in Sandbag. You're such a lifeline, Rob, to so many people. And I hope you realise that, because, we get emails in and people asking how they can get hold of you as well. And just when people are feeling really overwhelmed, there's times, I'm sure I'm not on my own here, where your head can't take anymore and you just think, please. And you just kind of make us sit down and stop for a little bit. So thank you for that.
No, thank you. It's my pleasure. That's what I do. I love it. So I just hope it helps.
You've got loads of tips, loads of different pointers and stuff for anyone that is struggling a little bit today. And the good thing with you, like you said, it's real. Like you won't bluff people either. You speak how we speak. And it's always with a good laugh as well somehow along the way. How do we find you?
Oh, thank you. You can find me at lifecyclecoaching.co.uk.